Of your pictures where you actually are wearing a hat. Shall we go to that website for a moment, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about the peace vigil that you and Kat have established?
Sure. Well, I don't know if you have it up. Let me give you the address for the website. It's photos from the peace vigil. It's www.flickr.com/photos/Haight Peace Vigil.
Is it wrong here?
I can't read it from here, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyhow, while you're trying to get that up, let me tell you about the Peace Vigil. It's the Haight Ashbury Peace Vigil, but you don't have to be from the Haight Ashbury to participate. Everybody is invited. It happens on the third Friday of each month from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Panhandle at the corner of Masonic and Fell. And maybe we'll get the pictures up in a minute. We will see, so that people can see what it looks like.
That would be fabulous, because I know I've been participating in the vigil for about over a year, maybe a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that after I've done it, and after how it first starts. Let me tell you from someone who just walks up to the peace vigil, and Kat and Richard are there, and there's a boom box, and it's got music playing that has to do with peace and against war and things like that. And then there are signs that you have that probably about 20 signs, and that anybody can just come up, anybody riding their bike along the Panhandle, anybody just walking up can just hold up a sign.
Right, it's an interesting corner because it's in the midst of a bike path, and so we have an intersection of bicycles, pedestrians, automobiles, dogs, baby strollers. So anyhow, it looks like we're not quite being able to get the pictures up at the moment. Maybe it'll come up soon.
Well, you know what? Hello. we were blank there for a second. Sorry everyone. You know what? I think last week I took some video. Mm-hmm. So I think what I'd like to do is have a half an hour special on 29 or 76, so people can experience from the people who go every month, because they're interviewed, and you see the cars going by and people honking or giving the peace sign, or once in a while there are people who are not in favor. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, it's kind of rare. Sometimes it's a joke, and sometimes it's people that just want to see what'll happen.
Yeah.
See if they can
right.
get us upset, move us out of our peaceful space.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Uh-huh.
I would say that that's really true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that's really true, that even though they may not be pro-war, they're into. We look like we feel comfortable, holding those signs, and that let's say, get out of Afghanistan, and, et cetera.
My perspective is there's actually something kind of artistic about getting people out of their comfort zone. It's a strange place to do it, but that's my perspective on it.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's really cool because it's almost like it could be a little mini doc, on how people get involved, and then how people, decide, oh yeah, this is something that really makes me feel good. It's like going to yoga, or it's like going to kickboxing, or whatever. And somebody's aunt is calling us on the phone, so I have to pick it up right here. Hello, caller. You are on Planet Glee.
Hi, Jennifer. This is Mike from San Francisco.
Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I really admire your guest. I have a question for him.
Okay.
We are involved in, would you say right now we're involved in 3 shooting wars? With Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya?
Yeah, we being the United States.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So your immediate goal, I would assume, is to get us out of these shooting wars, which is something I think a lot of people support, and I do too.
Yeah.
Do you have a further goal beyond that in terms of ratcheting down the military conflicts we have in this country?
Well, we would really like to see. What we'd really like to see is...
Thank you for calling, Mike.
Thank you for calling. What we'd really like to see is a lot of the funds being spent on wars, being spent on the military, being moved from that and address all the needs that aren't being addressed because governments are out of money. There's, as you know, federal, state, and local deficits, and they could be either wiped out or greatly reduced if all those funds weren't going to war and to military spending.
We have another call. Are you ready to take it?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. Hello, you're on Planet Glee. Hello, you're on Planet Glee. Hello? Did you have a question? Okay. Okay, bye.
I guess not.
Guess not. I thought that was a really good point, that first of all, it's kind of like so many of us want to distance ourselves from what the government is doing. And I don't think we're alone.
Well,
we're not the only country where people feel that way.
There's one organization, there's many organizations, but there's one organization, and I may not agree with everything they do, but their name is Not in Our Name, which I think, says a lot. We are residents, citizens, maybe, of the United States, but that doesn't mean we support everything that the United States government does.
And don't you think that we're seeing it in other countries too? Like, they're not happy, a lot of people are not happy with their governments?
Oh yeah,
throughout?
All the revolutions taking place in the Middle East and throughout the world.
Europe,
the government and the people are not necessarily one and the same.
Yeah. I think one thing that you've also said that we have listed for you is hanc-sf.org.
Right.
And you are someone who is actually working with the government of San Francisco right now, right?
Yeah, HANC, Hank, stands for Haight Ashbury Neighborhood Council. And among other things, we run a recycling center next to Kezar Stadium. We are in the process of being evicted. We are fighting the eviction. The San Francisco Recreation and Parks Department has a plan to build a community garden in the space. We have offered the city a transition plan in which we will build a community garden at no or little cost to the city. The city's budget is to spend $250,000 on this, which seems like quite a waste when they're saying that they're lacking funds. So we have offered a transition plan. We're having a tough time selling it to the current administration, but we're still trying. We are going to have a major event that the public is invited to at the recycling center. That'll be on August 20th between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. at the site, which is 780 Frederick Street, and that is right next to Kezar Stadium. We'll have information up on our website soon, and again, our website address, I think it might be on the screen, but
It is.
okay,
It's
it's www.hank-sf.org.
yes, it's on the screen. And that stands for, once again, Haight,
Ashbury Neighborhood Council.
of
We
which you're
actually-
you're president.
I'm currently president.
Yes.
We are a neighborhood group that has been there for more than 50 years. It actually, we actually began with the freeway revolt, which was the city's plans to build a freeway from downtown to the ocean and to go through the Panhandle and Golden Gate Park.
Wow, I
And,
never knew that.
And it was actually one of the first neighborhood actions that actually defeated some of the